The bandwagon effect is when beliefs are amplified because they are already held by a group of people. You might have already noticed that people behave differently when they are in groups. It's not difficult to extrapolate this paradigm back thousands of years ago when this sort of bias was much more useful for our ancestors' survival ability. They probably had to develop some sort of bandwagon effect to fight against dangerous animals, other tribes, and things like that. Let's not be so extreme and say that the bandwagon effect is useless in modern society, but today it has a few diminishing returns. The main problem with this bias is that it tends to make people behave in a more primitive way where the main goal is not rational thinking. It's mainly the integrity of the group itself. It's weird to observe that, in any given group, individuals who increase introspection or try to question in-group members about the group's rules, tend to be ignored or left behind. This is not a bad place to be in, sometimes depending on where the group is headed. This sort of phenomenon can happen in many ways in the market. The most extreme example is when a trader sees price action get unusually agitated and then, out of mere impulse, he jumps on whatever bandwagon he can see, metaphorically speaking. The group he will subscribe to depends on what he knows already, of course, so if this trader likes to trade based on a raw intuition of what the market is doing tick by tick, for example, that's where his impulse will come from. Believe it or not, many people trade like that in the market, which is a gamble, and needless to say at this point, completely mistaken. The moment-to-moment intuition of what the market is doing derived from the most current tick pulses is a dangerous starting point for your actions as a trader. To illustrate with a less extreme example, let's observe the trader who likes to trade based on simple notions of support and resistance. This trader will observe the obvious levels of support and resistance on the chart, and he will prepare himself to act when price gets to those points. If he has no plan of what to do when price does reach these levels, he can simply jump on the bandwagon of the first primal intuition of what the market will do next, which is the same as trading by impulse. All these examples have one thing in common. When traders feel they are missing the bus in the market, they will tend to make any effort, no matter how unrealistically deceptive they might be, just to get in a trade to see what happens. At this point in the course, you can probably imagine how much the market makers love biases like the bandwagon effect. These large traders expect that the vast majority of traders will act by impulse, and that is one of the ways in which the market makers capitalize on retail traders.